My wife suggested an open marriage, BC. She was bored. I reluctantly agreed. Within a week, I had 3 dates and she had 0. She cried and asked to close the marriage. I said, I'm just getting started. My wife Tessa dropped the bomb while we were folding laundry on a Sunday night. She didn't even look up from the towels. I think we should see other people. I stopped mid-fold. Excuse me? Not break up. Just open things up. I'm bored. We've been together 9 years and I love you, but the spark is gone. She said it like she was suggesting a new restaurant. I stood there holding a pillowcase feeling like someone punched me in the sternum. You're bored, I repeated. With us. Don't make it dramatic. Lots of couples do this. It keeps things fresh. She'd clearly rehearsed this because she had answers for everything. When I asked if she'd already met someone, she said no. When I asked if this was her way of leaving me, she said absolutely not. When I asked what happens if one of us catches feelings, she pulled out her phone and showed me a list of rules she typed up. Rules. Like this was a board game. I told her no. She cried for 3 days straight, slept on the couch, stopped cooking dinner, started making comments about feeling trapped and suffocated. On day 4, she told me her therapist agreed it was reasonable. I later found out she never even mentioned it to her therapist. By Friday, I was exhausted. 9 years of marriage, and I'd never seen her this determined. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, if I truly loved her, I'd trust her enough to try. So I said fine. 1 month. Strict rules. Full transparency. She lit up like Christmas morning. That night, she downloaded 3 dating apps before I'd even processed what I agreed to. She spent hours picking the perfect photos and writing a bio about being in an open marriage seeking meaningful connections. I watched her swipe through men like she was browsing Netflix. So confident. So sure she'd have dozens of options within hours. I didn't download anything. I just sat on the back porch staring at the yard thinking about how my marriage became something I didn't recognize. Next morning at the gym, my buddy Rowan asked why I looked like death. I told him everything. He stared at me for 10 seconds then said, brother, you have no idea what's about to happen. I asked what he meant. You're a firefighter. You cook. You're in shape. You're emotionally available. Women are going to lose their minds. I laughed because that sounded ridiculous. I'd been with Tessa since 23. I had no idea what dating even looked like anymore. Rowan convinced me to make a profile. Nothing fancy. 2 photos, one of me cooking, and one from a department fundraiser where I happened to be in uniform. Bio just said open marriage and looking for genuine conversation. Within 6 hours, I had over 200 likes. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Women were sending paragraphs about how refreshing my profile was. One woman said she'd never seen a man list cooking as a hobby without it being a joke. Another said my smile made her day better. By Wednesday, I had 3 dates scheduled. A veterinarian named Sutton who loved hiking, a designer named Paloma who quoted my favorite author in her first message, and a pastry chef named Blythe who sent me a photo of cinnamon rolls she'd made that morning. Meanwhile, Tessa's phone was silent. Not a single match, not one message, not even a like. She kept refreshing her apps every 10 minutes pretending she wasn't bothered. Changed her photos twice, rewrote her bio 3 times. Nothing. Thursday night, I was getting ready for my first date with Sutton when Tessa walked into the bedroom. Her eyes were red. Where are you going? Dinner with Sutton. I told you yesterday. Can you cancel? Why? Because this doesn't feel right anymore. I think we should close the marriage. I stopped buttoning my shirt and looked at her reflection in the mirror. This woman who told me she was bored, who cried for 3 days to pressure me into this, who had rules typed on her phone before I even agreed. It's been 6 days, Tessa. I know, but I made a mistake. I didn't think it would be like this. Like what? Like you having options and me having nothing. She was fully crying now. I thought this would fix us. I thought I'd feel wanted again, and instead, I feel invisible. I turned around. You thought you'd have all the fun while I sat home waiting. That's what this was really about. She didn't deny it. I want to close it. Please, let's go back to normal. I picked up my keys and wallet. I'm just getting started. Her face crumbled. I walked out and drove to the restaurant where Sutton was already waiting with that warm smile. My phone buzzed the entire dinner. Tessa calling, texting, begging. I turned my phone off and